So today, I'm gonna be sharing with you a scary story that I'm gonna be making. It was a stormy night, and two friends were chatting while driving. And it was raining, and in the distance they saw something black, and it looked like it was shaped like a human, but weirder than. Then they asked, "What are you doing outside?" And then they get a response, so they drove a little closer. Then they saw it clearer. It was a white man. He was completely covered in a bunny suit. He had red eyes, and his hands were red. Not just any red, they looked like blood. And in his hands, yes? Are you sure? If you dare interrupt my story just for a prank. And I'm gonna play loud music every time you try to sleep. Yeah, I was sure my dad was calling me because he thought he found my missing glove. Cause yeah, I did lose a glove, and then they both screamed. But then suddenly he just started sprinting at their car. Then he tried to drive away, but then there's something wrong with his engine. And he asked his friend to try and check. But the moment he got out, he was already waiting there. He chopped off his friend's head, and he screamed, and he jumped out of his car, and he started running and running and running. And he looked behind him, and he wasn't there. Then he took a sigh of relief. But then he hit something, and he thought it was just a pole. But it was actually a car. You thought it was the... Okay, I don't know if you thought, but okay. Back to the story. He started banging on the car's window, and he noticed he didn't receive a reply. And when he wiped off the fog, not the fog, he made the window clearer to see by wiping off a little bit of the rain, and then he found out they were dead. They were headless. He realized that story his grandma told him about the bunny man was real. And yes, I know the bunny man was actually a real scary dude, but I came up with a new story about the bunny man. So yeah, back to the story. He realized his grandma was not joking, that she had seen the bunny man before. She said that the bunny man would kill people and cut off their heads with a chainsaw. And then he heard a... And I thought it was a grass blower with his machine to blow grass. And then he said, "Help! Help!" He screamed in fear. But he just led the bunny man to him. Wait, no, the bunny man should be the name. The bloody bunny. He led the bloody bunny to him. And he got a really close call, but he got sliced in the leg. He tried to fight it hand to hand because didn't have much time to escape. Because, like I said, the bunny man was sprinting really, really fast. He came back to his car, and he found out on his engine was painted, "The bloody bunny is coming." And he never actually noticed his engine broke down, and he came back to his car. And suddenly, his car was moving. It moved a little forward. And when the lights turned on, then it drove backwards. It hit him. And he tried to crawl away, but then there was the bloody bunny. Right before I could chop his head off, the police had found him, and they started shooting at the bloody bunny. But he got shot right beside the head, and he was bleeding. And when he was at the hospital, they had all left. And he saw curtains, and they had all left. The, his room was soundproof because he would be panicking if he heard all the bad news going on outside, and he could possibly get a panic attack or pass out, and that'll be really bad because you were talking about some bad stuff going on outside, and they knew he wouldn't want to hear it, so it was soundproof. They couldn't hear what going on in his room, and he couldn't hear what was going on outside. But that was a very big mistake, because he heard screaming behind the hospital curtains in the patient's bed. And it stopped, and he saw a head rolling on the bed. They started screaming, "Help! Help! Help!" But he just couldn't hear him. And he remembered the room was soundproof. The window curtains opened. The hospital curtains. And there he was, the bloody bunny, with his chainsaw. And he really was next. Does this story scare you? If it did, please tell me in the comments down below. I really liked telling the scary story, and I might tell other scary stories. I'm gonna try to make up good scary stories as creatively as I can. And goodbye, and please subscribe.